USTEC 100, popularly known as the NASDAQ. Now on the USTEC 100, so far so good. We've had a buy position triggered, and right now we have a buy position currently running in profits right now. And for those who took advantage of this opportunity, well done to you for being on standby to capitalize on that move. Now, before we go into the details, let's run through, for the sake of those who are not part of the live session yesterday, let's run through the higher time frame quickly to have an holistic perspective into what is going on and what led into the decision that we made of buying the USTEC 100 so that we can all be on the same page. Now, I think we started our analysis on the 4 hours time frame, I guess. Let's see. I think we started on the daily time frame where we confirmed the uptrend here. You can see since the beginning of the year, price action had consistently found higher highs and higher lows, giving us an ascending trend line, as you will see here. And in fact, price action had consistently respected that trend line. And if you look at what has been going on here in the last couple of weeks, you will see how it has been difficult for sellers to break through the trend line. And with the continued appearance of buy pressure around the zone, it is more reasonable we look out for buying opportunities. Now, when we scale down into the 4 hours time frame, we begin to find a simple setup here that we've said we will be using to guide our trading activity for this week. Now, let's run through the 4 hours time frame quickly. So now on the 4 hours time frame, what we did here yesterday was to monitor our market participants as reacted to this market since the beginning of this month. And of course, it has been of lower highs and lower lows in this market, further emphasizing the strength of the sellers, which could be a retracement of some long-term bullish momentum, of course, and we have a descending trend line to work with. Now, last week's trading session, we witnessed the breakout of that descending trend line, as you will see here, which from a technical standpoint is a sign that we are likely going to be having a momentum shift, as the descending trend line may no longer have the capacity to continue to negate the bullish attempt. And you all know from a technical standpoint, whenever we have a breakout of a structure, such as the trend line we had here, we expect that at some point in time, price will come back to retest it to incite an uptrend continuation. Now, with this perspective in mind, we were looking at the potential of an uptrend scenario here after price action came back to retest the trend line. Then we also had an ascending trend line here to help us guide our trading activity for this week. Now, to help us for our entry point, we had our key level situated at the $15,000 mark, where we said if price remains above that structure, we shall be looking out for patterns and structures that will support the idea of buying that asset. Now, scaling down into the 1 hour time frame, we needed to see how the market participant will be reacting to that $15,000 level to give us an idea of where price action is likely going. Now, when we scale down into the 1 hour time frame, this is what we saw here. Now, at the beginning of the week, we saw an indecisive phase here where price action was confined within that key level, had the $50,000 mark, and of course the 14,930 level. And you know how we do it whenever we have this kind of flat channel. We want to be waiting patiently for price action to give us a signal, which of course will come either in the form of the breakdown retest of the support line for selling opportunities, or the breakout retest of the resistance line for buying opportunities. And as a result of this scenario here, we positioned ourselves right above the key level at the $15,000 mark. And in fact, an hour into the New York session, we saw price broke out of that structure, though we had some volatile movement. But remember, our stop was placed right below the support line of this range. And till that, since yesterday, price action had continued to find higher highs, and for those who took advantage of this opportunity, you will currently have about 72, 73 pips running in profit right now. Congrats to everyone who are taking advantage of that move, and what we are going to be doing next is to ensure that we secure our current buy position. Now, to secure the current buy position, I'm of the opinion that anywhere below the 15,440 and the $15,010 level seems most appropriate to lock in some profit. Remember, we of course do want to be given enough room for price action to breathe, so that whenever it retraces a little bit with the attempt of continuing to the upside, we will still be in the position. So with a well-secured position at this point, what is going to be our next line of action? Well, the first thing I would like to acknowledge here is the fact that since the beginning of the week, it has been more of a bullish momentum as we have witnessed higher lows in this market. So if we connect the series of higher lows here, I think we have a trend line to work with for today's New York session. So we have an ascending trend line spotted. So I would like to give this a green color and then zoom right in. Then when we bring back our candle chart, we can do some little adjustments so that it can capture majority of the pivot lows, as you will see. So this is what we have right now. So we have a trend line to guide our trading activities for today. So what this simply means is that as long as price remains above this trend line, we shall feel comfortable in our buy position, while we also look out for more opportunities to maximize the potential of this bullish momentum. And it will also serve as an area where we can place our stop loss, as we want our stop loss right now to be anywhere below that ascending trend line. Now, going into the New York session, how do we intend to be part of an uptrend continuation here so that we can add more position to our existing trade? Well, if you look at the structure here, you would notice that this is the highest point where price action has been so far this week, which is at the $15,000 mark. And at this point in time, I would like to see price break out of that position to give me more opportunities to buy. Now, for those who are already profitable on this asset, you can afford to have a buy stop order above the 15,100, since we will be leveraging on the profit we had made so far this week to risk and test waters around that area and see if that buy opportunity will click. However, if you are joining us for the first time, then I will suggest you remain patient, wait for the breakout to happen, then scale down to the lower time frame like the 5, 10, or 15 minutes time frame to look out for signs that sellers are finding it difficult to stay below the 15,100 level, which of course would reflect on the chart as retest of structure to join an uptrend scenario. However, we should also note that there is still a possibility of price coming into the 15,060, which shares a confluence with that ascending trend line to incite an uptrend scenario. So on this market structure, the trend here, the sentiment is still looking very, very bullish here. So we have that ascending trend line to guide our trading activity for today. Now, in as much as we're looking out for buying opportunity here, we cannot ignore the potentials of sellers. And the only condition that will make us want to start selling today is for price to break down that ascending trend line. Now, if price action breaks down that ascending trend line, it will have also broken down of this key level at the $15,060 mark. Now, if this happens, this is likely going to be a momentum shift. But one thing we don't want to be doing here is to be getting too excited and joining right away. So instead, we are going to remain patient and wait to see if truly this is a breakdown or a false breakdown. And to confirm that, we want to see confirmation such as retest of structure on our lower time frame before jumping into a sell position here. So this is how we are going to be managing our trade on the USTEC 100 for today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. You do want to be marking out these levels, as you will be needing them as a reference point to guide your independent trading decisions for today.